have no clearance. I didn't give permission to. I'm staying under the radar. You're never gonna notice me. I'm staying under the radar. Incognito.
We're here.
Guys, hi. Okay, you guys, can you hear me okay? This is a test. So I see Jakey, I see Timmy. All good on this end. You can actually hear the microphone because I'm about to pop in a special guest that you guys know about. So before I do that, let me say hi to everybody. So this is Mindforked. I'm Akashi Chris, and I'm coming live to you from the lobby of UFO Expo, where I have scored an awesome booth next to, guess what? The bathroom. Because that is how Mindforked rolls. Because we know that that is where the deep combos happen, right after the bathroom. Hopefully not before, because people just want to keep going. So if you guys can hear me, oh, everybody okay? Good now? Is it I'm too far? Okay. I'm going to get really close because I'm going to introduce a special guest here in a minute. But before I do that, yes, I'm next to the bathrooms, guys. Back to Vernal in so many ways, and you'll know why when I introduce my guest here who's sitting next to me. But before we do that, let me say hi to a couple of folks. We got Timmy Freestone, Brown Dwarf, my darling Brown Dwarf, who's so awesome. Dorothy Hawkins, Olivia, the Hadland. Cat 1137's been here for a while. Jake Smith. Oh my God. Lynn LeBlanc is here. I am so excited. Cynthia Prince. Will Carr. A. Oh wow, A. Oh wow, A is right. A. I am like, I already had to, okay, you guys, before I go, I already said hi to Travis Bolton, pretty much hugged him. I said hi to Ben Hansen. I already scared Mike Vera. He's a little bit scared of my energy, but we're going to handle that. But, oh my God, and Amy's on the road. Amy on the road. And can I say that I have two special guests. Can I pop you in for a second just to say hi? Guess who's here, you guys, from our chat fam? Hectic Stargazer Cindy's in the house. Chat fam, say hi to your sister, Cindy. Hectic Stargazer Cindy's here, and she's hanging out. And I see Blind Neil. I see Forensic Mystics, my sis Cass. But without further ado, I'm going to bring in one of my friends and fam of UFO community because we met in Vernal and the reunion is happening now. And without further ado, here we are, Shane Bodie, Open Symposium from the Roswell Daily Record.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
And hopefully, can you guys hear Shane okay? Make sure.
Yeah, let me know if you can't hear me.
Yes, make sure. So I am so excited. You know, we've been hanging out. We're like, he helped me set up here. It's like we're hanging out, and we're in Roswell. And I got to tell you, me and my husband, Stuart's here. He'll pop in a little while he's networking right now. But me and my husband are obsessed with the Roswell story. And Shane has, boots on the ground. He's been here. First of all, let's talk a little bit about how we came together, your first conference, and how did we get here? Because it's such a great journey.
Actually, yes, it is. So I'm only here.
You guys can hear okay?
Can you guys hear me okay?
And Rock Esty, my bestie. She's like my quantumly entangled sister. Rock Esty, like we're best friends in another lifetime.
Hi, Kat, Cindy, everybody, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Cindy's
Just make sure.
Cindy is on
Hi,
set,
alien girl. Keep driving.
Keep driving. Well, her husband's driving, thank God. Okay, so Shane, catch us up.
So actually, I went to, it was a Vernal UFO Symposium. The only reason I went there was I was an experiencer. In about 2020, I started seeing, recording. That's mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just took his phone.
She's stealing my phone.
From him. I was just trying to make sure I didn't. Have
She
my
needs
phone
the
in front of
evidence.
him.
She needs the evidence that I was talking about.
He was showing me evidence.
We'll
I
get
took
there,
the
guys.
phone. It was an accident. Just
right.
hang in there, man. We're gonna
So-
we have some cool stuff going up.
So I went to Vernal, Utah, just because the only people I really knew was UFO Twitter at the time. I was having an experience. My experience is still going on. I'm from Yakima Valley. I will give bonus points to anyone that can mention or knows where Yakima Valley else, where it's mentioned, what book it's mentioned in. It's recent.
Okay.
Begins with Skinwalkers at the Pentagon. So
There we go.
I started having my experience. It's still kind of going on. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And regardless of what you believe, synchronicities lead me to Roswell, Paul Hynek, you,
Mhm.
my first
We met.
podcast.
Who's been on my show too?
And from there, with my friends, support from people, I start doing spaces. I talk about experiencer spaces. I talk about the subject a lot. And then from there, I started doing my own podcast, which led to another podcast. And I have 3 going now. And because of my experience, like most people who have it, and it was so wild, pretty much all that I do, all my money, everything goes into this. I do UAP Med, which is an outreach organization to get to medical professionals, mental health professionals, and to let them know that, hey, something's here. You don't have to take my word for it. You got Gary Nolan, all these other people, because there are people who are having experiences that are getting medication or diagnoses that they don't need. So I do one of these
Yeah.
things, right?
No, that's great outreach because I mean, people
It's-
need more services and help for
Yeah,
experience.
it surprised me because during my experience, I got PTSD from my experience, and it's pretty severe, and it's wild because I have no place I can go for it to talk about it. So that's one of the reasons I do it. No one would understand to have to drive places, and then because I've had PTSD from combat experience, and I've had tools to deal with it, I can see it. I mean, to go places and to look down at your phone because you're scared to look up because of a trauma that you had in the past. Because while I was going through it, I didn't know what UAP were. So while I was getting
Before
better,
we do that, let's thank you for your service.
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
you.
this man does so much for vets as well. There's so much to Shane that, he's just like, just peel the onion. So
Yeah.
thank you for your service. I want to make sure for people that don't know that you're a vet, and on top of your experiences, so continue. I'm sorry.
yeah,
to
no, you
interrupt
don't ever
Mhm.
apologize to me. So I end up, I like to say that I'm failing up, and it's not even that. I just, like everyone who has an experience, and at the time, because I left Wounded Warrior, shout out to Wounded Warrior, donate right away, please.
Yeah.
They saved my life. 2020, I left their care, and that's when I was having the experience. So in my eyes, I've been clean since 17. I was getting better, but I started seeing something. And when you talk about that something to people who don't believe in it, so everyone thought I was schizophrenic, and it was really rough to be your better self and everyone think you're your worst self. I mean, it was probably the darkest time of my life before I found UFO Twitter and realized what was going on. And that's the other reason I put my name and face and all this stuff, right? And so the podcasts lead to spaces, and it's mainly I'm a UFO Twitter person. That's just where I go. I ended up meeting Mike from Mind Escape, who helped me with my first podcast. And then I'm on his producer, and then we did our own, me, Mike, and Toby, because I met Toby at the Roswell Daily Record through synchronicity.
Such a nice guy, by the way.
Yes.
Met Toby.
And we started doing a podcast together. And then I started doing Military Witness to UAP with Shannon Scott and Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
And then, because of, like most people, my research and the things it was more about answers. So it was 24/7. And I realized I got quite a bit of knowledge on the topic. And then Toby and I decided, because his boss, Sarah Lee, they know how important, they know UAP is real. And they also know that mainstream media doesn't do shit for this topic. So we've been given the opportunity to discuss, write about everything involved in this topic. And I'm a prolific reader, researcher, and I believe that consciousness plays a part, all this stuff we see. So look forward to these articles that are coming up. But I'll say that I'm here in Roswell for a reason. I know that now. I met you for a reason. And I can't deny the synchronicities that are here, but I can tell you that for a fact, Roswell incident happened. I'm not guessing. Look forward to what's coming. So retweet this. It's her exclusive. Roswell happened, and I'm not guessing. Look forward to this. Tweet at Roswell Daily Record. What started here is going to end here, and I'm not guessing. This isn't hyperbole. So just wait for this space. Get everyone. at Marco Rubio, everyone. Let them know it's real.
I'm gonna be clipping, some of this and tweeting it out because it is important that they know that I mean, we we know that there's so many stories. I mean, I'm obsessed with this because it's not just one, it's not two, it's so many stories, and people's lives don't change overnight for no reason. They just don't become disconnected from their family and friends and change the core of their soul overnight for a balloon incident.
No.
I mean, things happen. So before we even had this conversation, I'm walking in here, and I said it the other day. I was on Chop Shop, and I'm like, dude, this isn't the Bookham Dano side for me. This case, I said it earlier this week before we got. It's like this is real. This think about how hard it is to change somebody's. Think about your experiences and how different you are from
Yeah,
how you
I know.
were before that experience. Now picture all these people that are showing the exact same thing, except they were also under duress and being told not to speak.
You want to tell you how messed up the media is and how bad this is?
Mhm.
Let me tell you, the Washington Examiner piece is trash. You can at Washington Examiner tell them, real journalist over here who just became a journalist, it's trash. The stuff they were talking about was bullshit. So ATIP, Jay Stratton, Lou, Travis, everything they said is legit. They've been on the side of disclosure this entire time. I can tell you that Roswell happened. I can tell you that something's coming. And I can also tell you that I'm not guessing. So put two and two together here. Retweet this, hit your congressman, let them know they need to dig at Roswell now.
And is there anything you want to tell us a little bit more about that? And only what you're comfortable with sharing. Obviously, he's boots on the ground. You're working with Roswell
Okay,
Daily
I can share
Record.
something
So
with you.
just share a little bit. And just,
I would, if I was really into this subject, one of my favorite books would definitely be The Day After Roswell. But maybe even look for the original one, maybe.
the original. Yeah.
Manuscript, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So there might be like multiple versions.
Yeah, there's probably multiple versions, and he may not like the second one.
So that's something that we probably should look into. I mean,
I would suppose so.
we hunt down, we go down rabbit holes all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, this seems like a worthy goal.
Granted,
You
got to understand that sometimes when someone writes it, they may be writing about something they believe to be true because they only have partial information. But I will tell you that I would read that book, and I would say that the information, Roswell happened, the information's already out there. It's just a matter of figuring out which one it is. So, and I'm not going, again, I can't say a lot, and there's reasons. But I'll say that I'm not going on hyperbole. I'm going to tell you that Roswell happened. According to Christopher Mellon, Congress is currently looking for Roswell to be disclosure. So,
I mean, honestly, all the evidence is everything that happened here, everything that's been exposed since then, everything that they talked about, and all the matching. I mean, deathbed confessions. There's so many different examples of these stories, and they all match, and they all match very, very well. I mean, down to like 3 or 4 bodies. The descriptions.
How many bodies you say?
3 or was it 3 or 4?
How many?
4?
Yeah, okay. I can see that. 4 bodies?
4 bodies? 4
I mean, that's in books,
yeah,
right?
That's in books. Some people have seen 2 or 3, but then they thought there was like a couple that were dead, and then only one that was actually alive for a certain period of time.
Okay. And here's the thing you also need to do. Everyone needs to be following the Roswell Daily Record, because the Roswell Daily Record is the only one that's got this and is covering this. You can be left behind. You need to at CNN, I'll let all them know. This is how journalism's done. You don't avoid stuff because you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, being in the city, I mean, have you been able to talk to a lot of other people without digging into any sources, any anonymous sources, other experiences besides that, what's going on with you right now?
I've been able to do a couple interviews. Let me put it this is a cool way to put it.
Uh-huh.
So even before, let's say, there's 2 timelines in my life right now. There's before, when I thought I knew Roswell was real, and there's after, when I knew Roswell was real. There's a difference. You guys need to get over here, because it's going to mess you up a little bit. but it's real. And believe me when I say I have no idea why me, how I'm here, and I'm fortunate. I'm grateful. The Roswell Daily Record, Toby, Mike, all my friends, you guys. So all I'm gonna do is listen. I go to these conferences. People probably think I pay out my ass to do this stuff, the research, and come down here and read about this stuff to do this stuff. So it's nothing for me but answering questions because there's lots of experiencers, people who are hurting, people who've been ghostlighted by their own government, United States government.
In so much. Oh, there's a question. We have questions. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just so enthralled in what's going on. So, Cindy is my mod in person. We have a live mod right now. Thank you, Cindy. Is it the one from Carr? Question: what does he think about the metallic drip shaped craft? Metallic drip shaped craft. Has he heard about it?
I mean, probably a little more context or information.
Yeah, which one, Carr? Like, is it? Yeah, I need a little bit more info for that. Do we have any other? We have another question from you, Cindy.
Yeah.
Can people go to the crash site? That is a perfect question because Cindy and I are
Let me
dying
actually
to do that.
ask. Hey, Sarah Lee, I got a question on the
This is
screen.
live research going on right now.
No.
No.
Answer's
The
no.
answer's
Don't do
no.
it or you're gonna get shot.
It is a functional cattle ranch.
Functional cattle ranch.
Functional
And,
cattle ranch.
He doesn't want anything to do with it. Nobody messes with his cows.
Yep, no one messes with the cows, so don't do
I love
it.
the cows. There's a farm behind me that I swear by the cows, and the cows feel better. They're cold. I feel better.
Talking about
So,
Sarah Lee, my
Yeah.
Roswell Daily Record owner.
hi. Yes, I know we met in the front. I was like, I'm talking to everybody. I just did,
Yeah. No,
Hey,
I
we're
wish
besties.
Okay. Someone asked, I thought I'd ask
Thank
professionals.
you.
Go back to conundrum.
Thank you. There's Carnundrum has,
Like a.
it's a tear drip, but which, I need to know where you saw
Is there a date
that.
or a time or a place I can
Yeah,
think
do
of?
we need like a city, an incident name? Which one are you talking about, buddy? And unidentified as for, I'm going to say hi to a couple of friends. Unidentified as for Anthony's in the house, and Paranormal Pixie Laura. And that's it. It's joined for right now. But for those that just joined, we are live from, and I'm going to do this for a minute, from the lobby of UFO Expo. And yes, Mindforked has a booth now. And Mindforked has a booth next to the bathrooms. And I'm here with Shane. And the bathrooms are there, but guess what? I got to say hi to Bonanza earlier, and I stopped him on the way out of the bathroom. And I said, hey, if you want to come by and just say hi. I did, Cindy. Be proud. I actually stopped him on the way in just to put the pressure. Hopefully, he said he might come by. He might consider just come by because he can't really do phone interviews right now. We're gonna try it. Okay, so keep on going, buddy, because we're on a roll.
Okay.
So Roswell's real.
So Roswell's real. So I'll tell you that I'm here at the Daily Record. I'm writing for them, and I'm also doing these podcasts. But I'm here covering this. And tomorrow, look forward to I think more kind of like this type of announcements. So you guys got the exclusive. Exactly what I'm going to be talking about on stage tomorrow. So I'd be cutting this, retweeting this, atting your congressman, telling them to look at it. I mean, it depends on if you really want disclosure or you just want to hang out and talk. I know we want disclosure, right?
We want disclosure. And for anybody who doesn't know, we met a year ago. There's Tom Reed.
Is that Tom?
Do you want to say hi?
Director, right?
Come here, Tom Reed. Tom Reed is here, you guys.
There it is.
He's gonna say hello.
Here's the man.
Wait,
It's a-
Tom Reed, we're coming.
This
Come
is
inside, Tom Reed.
Morning,
Come
Ryan.
on, Tom Reed. Yeah.
Oh my God.
There we go. Tom Reed is in the house, you guys.
So who am I
And
talking
wait,
to?
Shane, this is you're on Mindforked right now. Tom Reed is here. Hey, Shane, get over here, buddy.
Hey, Shane.
You're
This
my
is the man of the hour.
Oh,
This is
right there. That's the man.
Shane and I are like fans, so we go way back. So we were talking about Roswell.
You should tell them about Berkshire.
Oh, the Berkshire UFO.
Ooh,
That's,
please do.
they got to hear it. Tell them.
So we have, you see, the chat's going on.
Oh my
They're
God,
all
yeah.
excited, and I have a really nice chat. They're very nice, and she's part of. Yes, you
She's
need to
part of
come
this
back
one?
because
I'll be
we're
right
not
back.
done. Wait back.
Okay.
That is part of the chat fans. They like to
Hi, how you doing?
stargazer Cindy.
Pleasure.
So
Yeah.
please,
Okay, so they have
Tell
questions. Do they have any questions about
oh yes, if you guys
All I will
have
say is if
questions about Berkshire.
anybody who saw Unsolved Mysteries episode, Berkshire's UFO,
Mhm.
they left out like anything that mattered. It was the weirdest thing. So they knew that the incident had been inducted into state as the first historically true UFO incident in America. Documents are over there on the table. And they filmed the judge who saw the cattle mutilations, which was never mentioned. Our case was involved with a space race, the goodwill message that was left on the moon. Those guys who manufactured that would go in our diner. We had in the 60s, our diner was like diagonally across the street from the second largest racetrack to Saratoga.
Oh, really?
And so during the 60s, NASA was in Boston. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
And so, right, so NASA was being funded by the government to beat Russia to space. So NASA used, because they were in Boston, Massachusetts-based manufacturing facilities. General Electric, Command Aerospace, Sikorsky, Pratt & Whitney, and Sprague Electric.
Okay.
Sprague Electric manufactured the goodwill message that was left on the moon by Buzz Aldrin just 6 weeks before the Berkshire's UFO incident.
Okay.
And so the Berkshire's UFO incident, I don't know why they call it the Berkshire's UFO incident, because it didn't just happen in the Berkshires. It actually happened in Connecticut, went up to Pittsfield, then followed the waterway back to Connecticut.
How long did they track it? I mean, it was a long.
I don't know, maybe 3 hours.
That's, I mean, considering that all the cases we talk about, it's like boom, boom, in and out.
Oh, no.
Something that's being tracked for that long
There
period.
wasn't- So let me ask you this: how many objects do you think there were?
I mean, I would think a handful, but
It was three.
There was three.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the three would break apart, form one, and
So
these
again,
are
the
all-
triangle. I mean,
No, it just kind of broke away, and they all would dissolve in unison. They come back together, and then they were noticed from these golfers at a country club.
the what?
Golfers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gophers.
Gophers, yeah.
Yeah, those gophers go.
Gophers,
get my,
yeah, gophers.
My next.
Okay, that's
club.
funny that they even had. Yeah.
Yeah, so it got a high classification that people would never wasn't mentioned either in Berkshire's UFO or Netflix, and so with that, so much that was missing. So they showed this guy, this officer, opening up this book, going, "I don't see anything." Remember that? Did you see?
Yeah.
Well, that's because that was a different town.
So they didn't even have the right town to begin
No.
with. So technically, they couldn't find anything. It was a different town. They didn't. Yeah.
Which made no sense. It was a town where, but nobody. So this is the other thing. There was no police on duty, right? Because there were small towns. They went home for the night, right? So if something happened, they got a report. It rolled over to their home phone or whatever. But it had, you know what I'm saying? There was nobody in the police department, and so that you'll also see Galata. Points up to the top of a doorway. He says, "That's my dad," whatever.
Yeah.
That was actually the sheriff who lost his life, who died. It was over time. So Eddie Galata, who was in that gas station at the time, Galata's gas station, pointed up and said, "That's my father." He was with his father when they rolled out the police, to look at these landing spots. Now he briefly mentions it, but everybody focuses on a cop going, there was no report, which was a completely different town.
Yeah, so there's not going to be a report. So it's like that, but that
Right.
doesn't invalidate the entire thing. It's like
Right.
do a little bit more digging.
Right.
Just don't get
Right.
the
But if
first
you-
documentary. It's like just take, only take that.
Well, that's not
chunk
the
of
first. That's
info.
like eighth
I
or
mean,
tenth.
yeah. Okay.
It was actually the worst.
The worst.
It was. Ben
Okay.
Hansen did a great one with me. He's here.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, let's see. What can I tell you? So the case actually, because our diner had a jukebox back in the '60s, if you wanted to listen to music, because when you live in a rural area,
Yeah.
you don't have access to FM radio stations, right?
Mhm.
And so, being that it was also near the second largest racetrack to Saratoga, and you had government manufacturing facilities trying to beat Russia to space, that ate in our diner became like this hub for conversation because it was a secret space program. And so a lot of the kids that ate breakfast with me in the diner and would walk across the street or ride a little bit and see bikes across the school, they became historians and lawyers and judges. So in 2000,
They lived it
Yeah,
as children.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they
so,
couldn't really openly talk about it because their father was working on the space race. So long after this happened, they started talking about it more. And that got the attention of my father's friend, who was an attorney in Connecticut that was organizing the United Nations Symposium on Extraterrestrial Intelligence and Human Future in support of General Assembly 33-426.
Okay.
None of this was mentioned in it either. And so our case went in support of
Can you guys hear Tom okay? I want to make sure.
Yeah.
I haven't been looking at chat.
And when in support of the Hudson River Valley,
Okay.
because the symposium was in Manhattan, they wanted to tie it to a New York-based account.
Okay.
So because our incident was over the Hudson River, I'm sorry, Housatonic River, and my God, the Hudson River Valley sightings, right? They were both over
Don't leave Shane.
like a rivers or whatever, right? They thought there might be a connection over water. So they thought, because my father was a politician and an attorney, that it would only make sense to discuss ours. With his permission, because he was a pillar in the community, it would add more substance. And that was October 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
My father was killed on October 2nd. They didn't mention that either. So our family was approached by Robert Bletchman, an attorney, to mention our case in support of the Hudson River Valley sightings,
Gotcha.
to add some credibility,
Mm-hmm.
and
More
lost,
data.
lost his life on the same day. So out of respect for him, because he was a political person,
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to pay something forward to him for advocating the incident.
Mm-hmm.
So they made this monument, and this plaque came out, which later on became like a park.
Okay.
And so then in 2015, this is so confusing. So in 2015, the city and the state wanted to go further with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they hired an attorney. None of this was in.
None of this was,
no.
this is all kind of.
They wanted to validate it, but they had to have source documentation to rule on it to make it official. So they hired this law firm, the Kessler Law Firm. Kessler went to Roswell and worked with the Roswell Museum and Research Center to mine for documentation
Mm-hmm.
that could be used.
Huh?
Oh,
He sounds low. Okay. Thank you.
That could be used
Mm-hmm.
in determining how significant this was.
Gotcha.
And so the Roswell Museum was actually involved in the first case to be deemed historically true, which is the Berkshire's UFO incident.
I love that link.
I know. And
I
it's
love that
it's so-
connection. Talk
right.
about, Shane was talking about synchronicities. Talk
Right.
about the connections between all.
And so in doing so, once they inducted it into state as historically true, because you can't deny that there are documents in the Roswell Research Library.
Mhm.
There were radio reports. I got the original news article that came out. I have a copy of it
Oh, do
from
you?
1967.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just bought. I
And
bought
so-
their mouse pad of the article.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm like the
That's
most
badass.
honest
Yeah.
article that
Yeah.
we've ever seen in the newspaper. I wanted us a mouse pad. I'm like, I need
Really, I
that.
get
That's
it.
the most honest article I think it's ever been written. And then poof, it
Yeah.
just went away. So
So in doing so, when they worked with us to make this and get this inducted into state, once it got formally inducted as historically true, right? Then the Roswell Museum sponsored my park. So they've got a bench in my park. So if you go to the park in Massachusetts, you will see the Roswell UFO Museum's bench there,
Okay,
along
that's
with
awesome.
along with Travis Walton, along with Ben Hansen.
Oh my
Ancient Aliens paid for our entrance sign.
uh-huh.
It's backed by the daughter of B.B. King, the
Oh
family
yeah,
of.
that she's gonna be. Was she gonna be here?
She's zooming in.
She's zooming in. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't want to see
You're
her.
so
She's
excitable.
in-
Yeah.
I
Great person.
I'm a celebrator. Okay.
I love it. All right, so
I'm-
then Tyrone Vaughn, his
Yes.
father was Jimmy Vaughn from
Mhm.
the Thunderbirds.
Mhm.
They sponsor my park.
Wow.
Oh my God, there's so many. Netflix filmed there. Ancient Aliens filmed
Mhm.
there.
We're
yeah.
gonna get close
Okay,
here.
so
And
I'm getting all these
Shane,
directions, man. It's crazy. I got so many things in my
I
head
know
right now.
you're
I got,
busy,
oh, this
but it's
person
like-
wants to talk to me.
Yeah,
I gotta
no,
get
you
this.
got no.
Yeah.
I love because the fact we're talking about Roswell and you're talking about this case and it all kind of comes together.
Right, so- all right,
I know.
so-
Well, how
all right,
close
so-
do you want us to be here,
This is
Stargazer
great.
Cindy? Stargazer Cindy. I mean, I'm gonna sit on his lap here in a minute.
Right.
How's it not happening? This
All right.
is a family show.
All right.
Anyway,
so,
go on.
real quick. I gotta
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So, all right. So with that, the Roswell Museum was part of it. Our case in opposite ends of the country, right?
Mhm.
So it was kind of cool, and for that
Yeah.
reason, because I kind of could cross market, they kind of cross market. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
when it came down to look, let's do something else in Roswell because this town can withstand more than one UFO festival, right? Let's do
Yes,
something.
you can.
Let's do something different.
Mhm.
They reached out to me because they already sponsored my park, and I hold the conferences, right? And I do things a little bit differently. So that's how I got involved with this, and then I got involved with Main Street Roswell, and the Roswell, Daily Record was all cool and everything and supportive.
Yeah.
And so was Galacticon and everything. So we all got together and go, let's put a new friggin' conference together and get let's get the band back together, right?
Right?
So,
Let's get it back together.
yeah, let's get the band
We
back together.
can reunite.
Because if you look at it, the people that originally had this festival are no longer in charge of it.
Okay.
So let's, get the band
And
back
we
together.
will be happy, and whatever I can do as a channel to, help support these causes. I mean, it's all about disclosure. It's all about getting to the answers. It's
That's
all
true.
about supporting the different teams that are out there doing the work. So that's where the support,
Right.
the YouTube community, the UFO community shows up, and others, because we have crossover, especially on Mindforked, is just different topics. So
I guess
go ahead, please do.
Can I say
And he's got to go,
So-
but
no, it's okay. So
Uh-huh.
so if you want to see the actual documents,
Mhm.
just Google it. Go to ufopark.org.
you want to take that one? I'm going to add it to my thing.
Yeah, like I said, I gotta.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you're a busy man. You didn't
Hey, what's up?
Tom Lee hijacked him. And then he sat. Then he got stuck here. Because he's having
Okay,
fun.
I'm on a Zoom right now. Okay, I'll be right there. Bye. Okay, yeah, I gotta fill it up. A permit.
You could,
They wanted to charge me $35 to have a table here.
are you kidding?
No.
Okay. Here are things. Okay, thank you so much.
ufopark.org. You're gonna love it.
I'm gonna put all in the video description. Thank you, Tom. You rock. Thank you. And
Asking Amy's tomorrow.
oh, tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna be having. Okay, first of all, later on when Amy gets here, we're going back live. So we're going to announce. I'm gonna do like a little red carpet / green carpet, because it's green all over the place here. It's not red carpet. So I know. And look at Stargazer Cindy has her green nails on. So we're gonna be like greeting people when Amy comes and have a big reunion. So I want to go back to Shane. It was so great to have Tom come.
I'm that guy.
I wanna.
Oh,
huh?
that guy is back. Conundrum doesn't like me.
Oh, car.
Oh, there's that guy.
Car. Be sweet, car. Conundrum A. This is my buddy Shane. We've been friends forever. So it's a green carpet review where I ask the tough questions. Shane, who are you wearing today?
Who am I
T-shirt.
wearing?
I said you're wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh,
jeans,
Grunt Style,
and
which is
tennis
pretty much all I
shoes.
wear. Shout out to Grunt Style.
Yeah. There. What is it?
Grunt Style. And thank
There
you,
you go.
Conundrum. I realize now that I'm your favorite.
He-
You're just
he
pulling my hair
loves
like in high school,
you.
huh? Mocking me?
Car is a sweetheart. We all love Car A. You just have to say A because he's Canadian. You can drink on my phone, whatever you want. Okay, so we're back. So let's
I'm not.
back to your story. You can do whatever you want, buddy.
It doesn't like prevent anything on your show.
Well, this
Are
is
you
not
sure?
for kids. Yeah,
Oh,
that should
okay.
be okay. People say the F word sometimes. I don't, but I just save that for real life.
You're probably going to end up blocking this now because of that.
Don't worry about it. You're fine. So,
Roswell. No one knows about the Roswell crash now because I drank a beer.
no, remember, it's called clipping, baby.
Yeah, that's right, that's
Clipping.
right.
I have video skills, and I plan to use them.
Yeah. you do actually, really
So
good
let's
ones.
just keep talking. So what else? So you're working. So how often are you working with the Daily Record, and how long are you here? Tell us, a little bit about your next steps with Roswell, and a little
So-
bit. If you want to share anything else,
Yeah.
feel free.
Okay.
Bye,
So
Anthony. Peace. Mwah. Sorry, I'm not like chatting.
here's what I
I'm
can.
talking.
You're all right.
Yeah, no, I'm
Keep
saying
chatting
not
at him. I
chatting.
thought you were yelling at
We're
me.
Talking. No, I'm
Okay,
saying.
I think I've
No,
had
I
one too many
said
beers
bye,
already.
Anthony. It's all right. It's okay. So no, I was just saying later, everyone, because Anthony's leaving. But
Bye, Anthony.
Bye, Anthony.
And thank you for joining
Okay,
us.
so tell us
Okay.
more.
Let's see here. Where shall we start with some information? So,
Amy's not driving anymore, but she's on her way. You see?
all right.
Amy,
All right. So,
we have the place ready to go.
if you haven't been to Roswell, and you get the chance, or if you come to New Mexico, first you got David Marler's museum. Albuquerque. Is that where Albuquerque? Is that where it's at?
Yes. And we
Then-
actually have support. Like I have all kinds of documentation. There's a group
Shout
here
out
for
to
the
Dave Marler.
National UFO Historical Record Center. And I've actually invited some of the team to be on Mindforked to talk about this initiative.
That's
And just
awesome.
make sure that we support these type of things. Me and Amy will be talking to that team.
So there is probably going to be, it's going to be the largest collection of probably research material you can find on this subject. Yeah, I mean, I've already had a fun at the museum here in Roswell. I've been here since Tuesday, and let's
I'm
just
totally
say,
going this weekend.
just
Is that part
researching.
of Sunday or is that something separate?
I think it's
that
for
one-
Sunday. No, I
I
think we
think
go
there's
there.
one Sunday
There-
for
yeah,
the
we do go there, 'cause I was
we
hanging out
are
over there.
going to the museum.
But and when we get there, I'm going to show you around because it's a research area. And I didn't used to like researching, but I think it's fun. And if you guys get a chance, I'm going to give you one of the greatest books in the world. It's such a, I mean, you won't be able to put it down. It's UFO Crash Retrievals, Volume 1 through 7 by Leonard Stringfield.
Okay, I'm gonna again as I go through all this because I don't have my notebook. I'm gonna be documenting all this stuff and putting it in the video descriptions because the stuff that Shane is sharing with us, again, he's in town. He's working with the people. He's working with the people that published. This is historical place.
Oh, this guy's important,
Good
huh? I
job.
like
Yeah,
to think. I like
he
to
is
think I'm important.
He
No one else
is
does. I like to
important.
think I am.
He's important because he's my buddy. Because we met, we became kind of a family back in Vernal with Amy and Lynn. So hopefully we'll see her
So,
later too. So
Here's the
telling me.
things that I'll tell you.
Keep talking. Oh, keep talking.
So you've got UFO Crash Retrievals, Volume 1 through 7
Mhm.
by Leonard Stringfield. You can find that. It's not a lot of fun. There's a lot of material in there. It's real.
Mhm.
You should also know that crash retrievals is a thing. And according to not just myself, but Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp, there's multiple crash retrieval programs. The likelihood is it's been put somewhere and lost, or there's one person, now according to Travis Taylor,
Mhm.
Travis Taylor at Alien Con, we were covering that there, and he kind of gave it in this form. You got to understand they have NDAs, so they're going to say it in a way that they can say it.
Mhm.
If there was a crash in Roswell, then in 1947 they would have created a special access program. There would have been somebody in charge of that who would have retired out, died, one of the others. So somebody else would have picked it up, and they would have tried to minimize the amount of people in it. So right about now, said person would be retiring, getting out, so he would not give a crap. Now, if only there was some whistleblower protection. Wait, there is.
There is. We just installed that, right?
Right. And if
Yeah.
only Christopher Mellon,
convenient.
if only someone would interview Christopher Mellon and he had said something along the lines of, Congress is now using the Interagency Task Force to get all paperwork from everything from 1945 on, because it's interagency and it's no longer a DOD arrow, which is only DOD, they can get it all. They want special access programs. Now, here's the thing. Jay Stratton says this at the Alien Con. Just because we all of a sudden we get a whistleblower, they just, let's say he comes forward, Congress knows about this. You don't expect you know about this. Right now, what we can hope for and what we want, and I won't stop fighting until we all know. You guys know. I told you, you know. Don't ask how. I can't tell you that. You know, but I'm going to tell you that the way this works is they're probably going to use a whistleblower, and the whistleblower is going to tell them stuff, and it's probably going to be classified. The president of the United States is going to take him to declassify it for us to see it. Now, the Roswell Daily Record, Toby and myself, had done a paper, and we actually reached out to all these senators. We never heard back, so I'm not going to say all their names. Why and how are they going to ensure transparency on a whistleblower? Why put whistleblower protections in if it's going to be the same old shit show? So by that, I mean, it does us no good to have a paper that's completely redacted. It does us no good to not know a whistleblower came forward. And it definitely does us no good to not know UAP exists. It doesn't matter if our government does. We, as patriots, Americans, deserve to know what's in our skies at all times. I myself, I'm a patriot. Our government's lying. It is a conspiracy. As wild as that sounds, people should take notice. Roswell isn't the only crash, right? So there's lots of information out there that you can find about other incidents. You got Aurora, Trinity. You've got one in Nebraska in 1884. You've got Brazil. You've got, matter of fact, in New Mexico, here, if you take a look, that's the reason I came down here. There's a flap, and it's like a 15 to 20 year period. And there's crash after crash after crash, and there's body after bodies after bodies. Here, like 5, Aztec, Roswell, and just around this area. Why? Well, people aren't asking the right questions. So what I'm asking you guys to do is, information's out there. There is no academia doing this stuff. I'm not a scientist, a researcher, a reporter. I am now. I just don't stop. I'm not gonna stop until this is out, because there's no one else that's gonna do it. Apparently, I mean, you got George Knapp, Jeremy Corbell, Christopher Sharp. You got these other people, but Ross Cohort, and I heard someone the other day. Ross Cohort said, "There's no media that'll take this." I will promise you, there's nobody in the media that knows as much about this topic as me and Toby. Where there may be other people who have sources and that kind of stuff. Toby and I know enough about this topic and know that there's more to it than just nuts and bolts consciousness. Look, I'm going to tell you,
Trip us
Bigfoot.
out a little bit,
I'm going to tell you, Bigfoot. All these things are combined,
I
right?
am a huge Bigfoot, but that's double positive or whatever. I see it as all part. It's all a big puzzle. It all comes together. It's like somewhat multidimensional, somewhat things that are here and there, and things that we don't see. And I consider Bigfoot in that category because, again, if you look at the amount of like data and stories that come out, it's just like the stories of Roswell, right?
Yeah.
It's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people coming out. Same thing with like all these cases on Bigfoot and Bigfoot sightings, and some might be, off there, but there's enough data that something up there too.
You should
And
also
it's a part of it. I think it's all like goes. The
You should
whole thing is
also
all tied.
ask yourself, what have we gained? Why would our government keep this a secret? Okay.
Mhm.
So what happens here is the United States government utilizes this to gaslight us and to hide special access programs.
Mhm.
Those special access programs are actually based on reverse engineering from Roswell, all these other crashes, right? So we've got things that have been reverse engineered. Now ask yourself, what could they be? I don't know. There's a couple books out there that talk about them.
Mhm.
Now, there's also books that talk about how the craft are flown.
Yeah.
Did you know that consciousness is a thing?
Yeah. I mean, I've read enough about it. To me, again, we've proven power of consciousness in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I think that we are locked on purpose, led to believe that we can't use our minds, beyond its capability. And I think they like it that way. And I want to be positive in that hopefully it is because of fear, but at the same time, it's like, why? I don't want people to assume my fear and not tell me something just because I might be fearful. That just doesn't sound cool.
And I want you guys to look me in the eyes right now. I almost took my life because of my experience. And I wouldn't tell you a lie. Roswell happened. You need to at your congressman. You're being lied to. You need to at your congressman. The United States government, the one you pay taxes to, is telling you lies. Not only that, they have killed people. They have gaslighted. So you need to at your congressman. Because again, this is our country. It needs checks and balances. There should be no shadow government. There should be no military industrial complex deciding what is okay for us to know. There's a reason the United States government right now, the Air Force is not playing ball. The United States Navy was. Jay Stratton talks about there's a reason the Navy started their own, because the Air Force wasn't playing ball. Why? Because they had stuff they didn't want to share. You need to at your congressman. You need to follow the Roswell Daily Record, myself, Toby.
Mm-hmm.
If you want more information about this is a developing story. Everything I've told you right now is real, serious, and all I can say is this. It happened. You better clip this because you're here for an historic event.
We are ready. I know that we have stuff that we're going to do here, but I am going to be clipping stuff. I don't want to push you too much because
You're not
I
pushing
know
me.
that I can be.
I'm pissed.
Huh?
You're not pushing me. I'm pissed.
You're pissed. Okay, well, this is
to know
fun.
that you almost, you were in a bad place, and all it would have taken is your government not saying everybody else was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's again back to all the stories. It's all about like threatening people and just saying like if you tell somebody over and over again something didn't happen, does that really make it go away? It's like, and that's what they did. It's like something didn't happen. You have, and you run around this town. There's so many stories of them being so patriotic and just so at the time of war. You know, if you recall 9/11, after 9/11, how did we feel? We were all united and we would have done anything for the country. So I can see that at a time of war, you have a town that's so dedicated, and just so patriotic that will go through something like that. And we'll suck it up. I mean, that's how I see it.
That
That's just-
patriotism, that 9/11 patriotism, should be used for the biggest event in human history. So, you guys know, your fans, you're here, you know they're real, right? So, imagine that. The biggest event in human history is being held up by the United States government. Why? There are protection reasons. Now, I am an American first, so obviously I want to protect myself and my country.
Mhm.
But a lot of this shouldn't be classified. Kim Burchett knows that. All these other look.
But did they say it? Okay, did they say okay? There's two. Timber Chubb someone. Marco Rubio said like 99% of the stuff.
Oh, balloons.
Right?
Well, it takes
Balloons,
1%.
or not. He didn't say 99% were
Prosaic.
balloons, but they were like could be identified. Okay. Again, by the way, the fat number of the cases is misquoted at all times. And as a percentage of total, I'm like, wait a second, you guys are missing. You made it now 200 cases when it was 500 cases. Like, they're looking just like moving the cups around. But I remember him saying it's like most of it could be released, but I thought it was the way I was reading it. Is it to appease people and make them feel like it can be released because there's nothing scary to worry about.
No,
That's
it's
what
because there
I'm
is
like-
something scary.
But why would he want to release? I'm just saying to Mark, the statements of Marco Rubio were like, this could be released. If it's so easily released, I would think it was released because it's not that hard to digest.
What if our government was scared and that's why they didn't tell you?
Honestly, they should be.
Okay. Now, what if not everything that's here? And like I said, I'm not a professional on all these topics, but just bear with me.
Mhm.
What if there's more than one, and not all of them are here for the same reasons? Holloman.
Mhm.
What if Holloman happened? Now you can go back.
Mhm.
You can go back, and there's actually a documentary that's going to be made. When the
Mhm.
documentary was originally going to be made, the full Holloman film was supposed to be involved in that. Later on, something happened. They decided, kind of like Roswell, whenever the crash happened. Hey, we got a craft. Oh no, we don't, right? Because we're realizing what's going on. They could be used like for their special projects. It benefits them over everybody else.
Mhm.
So, oh crap, I forgot where I was going. Where it was?
You were saying about the craft is like
Oh, yeah.
putting it all together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So, if these crafts existed, what if they're lying? What if these crafts existed? What if there's more than one? Now, bear with me. If you read Keel and Belay, if we're not talking about the Roswell crash, reading Keel and Belay, super important in my opinion. It's obviously just my opinion and UFO Joe's opinion, who's kind of my mentor. I go down these paths because I like I read a lot about the subject.
Mhm.
If you get a chance, I would highly recommend Keel's The Eighth Tower on
Okay.
ultra terrestrials and the super spectrum. It's pretty relevant, especially if you're one of those people who think the nuts and bolts aren't necessarily nuts and bolts.
Mhm.
I think that remote viewing, precog, all these things are intertwined. And I think they're involved in the same thing. We don't know what it is. Consciousness plays a part. And somehow, that's where we are right now. So we're in the middle of probably the greatest time in our life. The only thing we are missing is scientists, journalists, congressmen to take it serious enough to put that stuff in perspective. Now, science is collaboration.
Mhm.
What we have right now is compartmentalized crash retrieval, so we don't have anything. Imagine if we had scientists working on this 24/7. Imagine, even if we didn't know, and I'd be okay with our Congress knowing at least what was going on and us getting very little, but that's not happening. We're getting none. That's not okay.
Well, you heard it here, guys. We are at Expo. Oh, look, it's a picture.
Hey,
Thank
actually, Toby,
you.
come on back. This is my boy Toby,
Toby.
my writing partner.
You're going to meet Toby. Toby is awesome.
The one
He's
who
also
actually,
with the Daily Record. Hi, Toby. Say hi to the Mindforked folks. Over here we have the chat going on.
would you like to tell them what our pants look like
Yeah,
after
tell
we
them.
started on this?
Yeah, so you guys, so how did you guys come together?
Strangest thing, I met him on Twitter. Go figure. My stepson
You
was going.
see, it happens.
My stepson
I'm
was going
gonna try to
prospecting
pick
for
it. Oh,
gold.
yeah.
So
Okay, go. Come
what a
on,
gentleman!
sit in the hot seat.
So, yeah, we met on Twitter. He was posting about prospecting. My stepson was going to go prospect for some gold. So
Oh, cool. Can you
That's
guys
how we
hear
started
Toby okay? So this is Toby. So go ahead, sorry.
yeah, that's basically it. From there, we started talking UFOs, and he told me about his experience. I've had my own. The documentary we're in is premiering tomorrow.
Ooh, that's right.
It's done by Mike and
What
Maurice
is his
from
name
Mind
again?
Escape.
What is it?
It's from
What's the name of it? Because we're going to be talking about that.
It's from UFOs to DMT. Or the main title of it is As Within, So Without.
Oh.
Sorry, I've been running around everywhere all day,
Hey,
so I'm
no,
scatterbrained.
we're everybody. You should see the action. You know, you got the vendor booths and stuff, and oh my God, there's a guy with robots chasing people around. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I had Tom Reed sit over here and talk a little bit and tell a story. So I'm so excited that you guys let me do this. We're gonna be bringing people in, like as people kind of come in. I'm gonna just get offline here for a bit, and then we're gonna be people and greeting people. But we'd love one thing. So, are you willing to talk about your experience, or is that
Yeah,
something
but
to
I
think
think
about?
I'll do it more in depth after tomorrow because
Okay, let's do
the
that.
documentary premiere is going to be the first time it's
Okay.
actually been told.
So tomorrow we're gonna
I
be
can
hearing
say,
some.
did Shane tell you we had a sighting last night?
No.
No. Okay.
Wait! Breaking news! We got a sighting report from last night. Tell us, Toby.
Okay, so we were at the hotel where they're staying at, and we were trying to get some B-roll footage for the film.
Uh-huh.
Some nighttime shots. So Shane brought his camera, and he calls me over and talking about what happened last night.
Dude.
On the screen, it was like a silverish white light flashing, and then another one appeared next to it. You look in the sky away from the camera, exactly where it should be, nothing. So as you can see it on the screen of the camera, it's not in the sky.
You couldn't see it
You
like.
couldn't. No, you could only see it through the camera. As soon as
What type of? What was it like? The professional camera? Was it your iPhone?
which camera
or
was
what-
it?
Yeah, it was a professional.
That professional one.
Sony
Yeah.
Sony
Yeah.
A7 III.
And it captured it on that, but
No,
not.
it would let me. When you hit record, you couldn't see it.
Oh,
we
the
could only
recording
see it
couldn't
on the
capture it, but
You
you
could only see it. And right as he started calling the rest of the group over to the camera guys, we have
Dude,
to restart it. And once we get it back on, we can see it again. But once again, you can't see it with the naked eye, right? So we're like, what is this? So
it
he calls
doesn't
him
want to be
again.
captured.
The camera dies again.
It doesn't want to freaking be
And then it's gone.
captured.
Once the group gets there, there's nothing.
We watched it on the screen, but if you hit record, here, back it over here.
Hey, freaking knows.
So what
yeah,
had
come
happened
on,
is
man.
this.
Join us here. Back to Shane. Shane, get close. There we go. They're
Okay.
they're hugging now.
So as
It's
I,
happening. Yeah,
Bro.
there we
it was
go.
on the screen. You could only see it on the screen. You couldn't see it with your eyes, no matter how hard we looked. It was randomly pulsing, 1, 2, nothing, completely random numbers as well as time frames between nothing. And I mean long time frames. You'd see 5 seconds of nothing and then blink. So it's like 10 seconds, blink, 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 like that. You couldn't see it anywhere else. Now we're watching. It shuts off. It comes back on. It's still on there. We still can't see it. I yell for everybody. Try to record. Starts recording. You can't see it when it's recording. Hit record, so it shuts off. There it is. Flash, 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 doing its thing. Shuts off again. I'm like, what the hell? Guys, get
And
over
you're
here.
both seeing this.
You're
Yeah.
both watching.
This is crazy.
And I'm like, what the hell? Did you see this? Yes, yes, yes. It's 2 lights pulsing, a third light a little bit further off, blinking, slower. We get the other 2 up there. I turn it back on. It's completely gone.
That's nuts.
So,
That always freaking
and here's the
happens.
best part. I looked at Toby. Look, guys, I had a beer right now. Last night I had a beer, and I said, I don't see E5 in one. I don't see E5, but you know what? I'm going to see E5 in Roswell. And I said, in my head, pardon my language, all right, fuckers, I'm outside. Show yourselves. Not even how long later?
And it was in Morris
That
Club.
was the way you see 5.
We figured out the
High five.
blinking. The blinking was Morse code, and it said, "Go home, Shane. You're drunk."
The mystery has been solved. They talked in Morse code and said, "Go home, Shane. You
All right.
I gotta
Thank
go
you,
do some stuff.
Toby.
Thank you so much
That's
for
my
having me
brother.
on.
Thank you, Toby, so much.
That's my
you guys
brother.
Are so, I can't believe you had a sighting last night, dude.
We'll have one tonight,
It's gonna
probably.
get crazy. I know. So I'm gonna sign off for a little while and let you, go get.
Let's see if I can round up some
and
guests for
round
you.
up some guests. Yeah. So because Amy will be coming soon,
What time?
and I need to check to see she was
Amy,
on the road.
I miss you. Get here.
Amy on the road. Amy, you on the road still? She wasn't.
Wait,
she
is that
wasn't- That's,
Nora?
That's a bad kitty.
That's a bad kitty.
Right? I don't know who's
That's
the
Nora?
bad kitty. Bad kitty.
Is that my Nora?
Do you
I'm
know
gonna knock you
bad
out,
kitty?
psycho. That's my psycho dude. She's my psycho friend.
Oh, that's a bad kitty.
That's my
Hi.
psycho friend.
You are Shane's psycho friend, and I can say that because he said it.
Yeah,
And
well,
it's
you
a
can
term of
because
endearment.
if you mess with me, she'll cut you.
And that hey, I buy that. So we got people now with the second star survival. We got your friend here. We had people come in and out. David Martin in the house. I'm just so happy. The Bud Files is here. I already said hi to Maddie. So I'm gonna let Shane and I are gonna take a little break,
I'll
and
be
then
back.
we are going to find out the status of Alien Girl, and then I'm gonna start I'm calling it like a red carpet, but it's really like a green carpet.
Yeah, and I
might
did just
say
dox Nora.
green
I doxed her.
carpet street.
No, I just no longer a secret account, Nora. You're gonna have to redo that one. My bad.
New alt. Sorry. New alt alert. And Dorothy has been here. I am so happy that you guys were all here. Shane, we're gonna bring you back. Oh my God, we're gonna bring you back when Amy
That's so
gets
much
here. We're gonna like set alarms because that's what we do. So we're gonna run and meet, and I'm gonna capture it all. So there's
Oh,
gonna be some
and
more
you should also look forward to her being on my podcast while I'm here. We'll be going live
Yes,
as well.
we're gonna do
Her
that.
and
And-
we're gonna have a good old time.
And Amy is going to have a special show tomorrow from right here. We're going to be streaming. And it's going to be on Alien Girl 111. And we're going to be there supporting her. So tomorrow we're going to do this on Mindforked tonight. And tomorrow, Alien Girl. And who knows? Because we said we were going to stream out our feelings. Remember that one night? I don't think you joined on the YouTube. We like went live at 11 o'clock from the hotel, jumping like crazy from how much energy we had from the conference.
Oh yeah.
We were like, so that might happen. So,
Hey guys, did you guys know I'm gonna be interrupted?
Oh, no.
I just
go
want
for
to. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Nora, I don't know if you've heard, but Roswell happened.
Breaking news, people.
Breaking news. Roswell
Breaking news.
happened, and it's not a guess. You need to ask your congressman. Nora, I know you know this. I know you know this because you're crazy. You're UFO crazy.
We're all crazy.
She tries to bite her own face off. It's weird.
Oh, well, yeah, but don't do that. There's other things you can bite. That's probably better. But no touching of the hair or face. That should be that's like my, whatever the hell movie. I
You
can't
should
even
see it,
think
I mean.
anymore. So thank you, Shane.
No
And
problem.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
be like kind of setting up here and going back and forth, and we're gonna be going back live and have some more guests. I'm gonna try to round up some people. Who knows?
By the way, I love your husband, Stuart's the bomb.
Stuart is the bomb. Honey, come here.
I just called you out, Stuart. I said, love you, man.
Stuart, come here.
You're the bomb.
Stuart and Evan, my husband and lovely producer for this trip.
He's awesome.
Is here, and he's like best friends with Shane now.
He's cool as
like,
shit.
He's like, yay, I'm so excited. He's got the smile. He's like, so
That's awesome.
they were like talking. It was a thing.
This is my family,
yeah,
guys.
They're like buddies now. The fam's growing.
That's
Just
what I'm
wait
talking
till
about.
you get Crazy Chick. And a couple of other people are coming. Amy's bringing her husband. It's the fam is growing. So
Hey, let me ask you this, Nora. How's UFO Expo? Let's see, about 400 milligrams. Is about what? Is that what you're asking? Of edibles?
Oh
Wait,
my
no?
God, they're
No,
all
I'm messing around, Nora. I'm not really.
Nora, it's okay. We're all okay. He's doing fine. Ruckus, he's still around, and he's out to see Stuart, my husband. So, buddy, we're gonna come back later on if you want to
Absolutely.
drop by when Amy's here. We are gonna start
Absolutely.
a red carpet stream to welcome Alien Girl and Crazy Chick in the house, and whoever else decides to drop by. I'm still looking for Matt Monas. I am looking for people. You know me. I hunt people down. You
Yes.
know me. And that's how I met this guy, and I am so eternally grateful. So
Yes.
thank you, Shane. You guys, peace. I'm gonna be back in a little while. Just look for another thumbnail that I'm gonna drop, and We'll talk to you soon.
Good times.
I'm gonna head us off with Incognito. Love you all. Bye. See you in a little while. The action continues. Hold on.
Bye, Nora. You suck.
You don't suck.
Calculating, crunching numbers, watching everything we do. Interference, have no clearance. I didn't give permission to. I'm staying under the radar. You're never gonna notice me.